How's it going, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful day. And I just wanted to give my thoughts on the final season and series finale of The Boys. And beware, there will be spoilers in this video. I'm really disappointed to say that this final season and the finale, it really let me down. Because I really loved The Boys at one point. Like when season 1 came out, I binged the whole thing in one day. I absolutely loved it. The characters, the writing, like how it satire of the superhero genre, especially like when it came out at like the perfect time when super movies were everywhere. Like it was perfect. And then season 2 came out. I generally enjoyed season 2, though I didn't think it was as good. And season 3, I thought was a step in the right direction. I enjoyed season 3 a lot, especially the introduction of Soldier Boy. And Jensen Ackles was incredible in the role, and so I really liked season 3. And then the dynamic between some of them having power and some of them not, and like the debate between the members being like, the whole reason we're doing is that no one has powers anymore, but now we're using that to fight the enemy, you know? So I love that stuff. Season 4, I thought was fine. A lot of it just kind of felt like, okay, this kind of feels like we're just wasting time until the next season. The 2 seasons of Gen V that we got, I enjoyed season 1. I thought it was fine. And season 2, I also thought it was fine, but I didn't really think either season were like mind-blowing or anything like that. I just thought, there were fine spin-offs. So then getting to the final season of The Boys, man, I was really looking forward to them going all out, especially with all the posters they released of like Homelander looking over like a destroyed Earth, Butcher in front of like a destroyed Vought and all that kind of stuff. None of that stuff happens in the season at all. So the poster they released right before the finale was like Butcher, and he's walking up to the White House and there's all the other suits in the air. That doesn't happen. They're like, oh, that's a panel in the comics, so let's just make that into a poster. And we're totally just bullshitting, and that's not going to happen. Great, thanks, guys. And I had heard the plan was to make this final season 13 episodes, but they only got 8. But even if that's the case, it still felt like a lot of this season was kind of a waste of time. Because there's a lot of useless plot lines. Like, they bring Soldier Boy back in this season, for example, and pretty much half of his dialogue is just referring to that spinoff that they announced, what's called Vought Rising or whatever. That's what half his dialogue is just referring to things we have not seen at all with this character. At a point, it was almost hilarious that pretty much half his dialogue was just like, if you want to know what I'm talking about, audience, be sure to tune in to Vought Rising coming out next year at Amazon Prime or whenever. It was getting laughable at a point. And then Homelander just chokes him out and puts him back in his freezing pod, and he's not even in the finale. Like, okay, great, thanks for bringing back this really cool character just to basically do nothing with them and just to make him a walking advertisement. What a waste. And then they have this whole episode basically just devoted entirely to side plots. The boys themselves only had like 5 minutes of screen time to essentially just say, we don't know where this guy is. That's about it. And then the dog eats chocolate by accident, so then they save the dog, and that's pretty much what happens there. And then they devote time to the character Firecracker, I guess to get you to care because they're going to kill her off. Why the fuck would I care about a pedophile? All of them deserve to die, and that's just a matter of fact. So when they killed her off, I'm like, alright, fucking good. One less pedo, the better. No offense to the actress or anything like that. I think she did a good job in the episode, especially that scene she had to do when she was reporting on something, and she was like tearing up as she was doing it. The actor's good. Hopefully they're not a weirdo in real life, but the acting was really good. Soldier Boy gives Homelander the V1, which makes him immortal and like immune to the virus they've been working all season. Because it's what Clara would have wanted, I guess. Okay. So Homelander becomes immortal. He kills the president, which you think would be a bigger moment, but it's really not. He just kind of does it, and that's that. Everyone moves on. No one really cares. A scene I think was good is that Frenchie's death. I think was handled pretty well. Like, I think it's very well acted. I actually did feel myself getting a little choked up watching it. So the acting was great. The scene itself kind of makes no sense. Because, Homelander finds their base of operations, right? Where they're making the virus. And obviously he's using his extra vision to try and find people. And he notices there's one vent he can't see in because it's made out of zinc, I guess. And it's the one thing he can't see through. And so Frenchie makes a noise to distract him. He just taps his finger on the wall and then that gets Homelander's attention. So I guess he can hear someone just lightly tapping on the wall, but couldn't hear Huey in season 4, I think, who was directly right above him, panting massively. But I guess Homelander couldn't hear that, but he could hear someone just lightly tapping the wall. The power skill in the show makes no goddamn sense sometimes. Anyway, so it's off screen, but then Yeah, so Kimiko's holding his arms and he passes on. So that was a good scene. So into the finale, they give Kimiko Soldier Boy's powers by recreating the conditions they gave him his. Sister Sage helps with that. It's another character I don't really like in this series. She's supposed to like really smart, but every decision she makes is really fucking stupid. And when things go her way, it's out of convenience and not because she planned for it. Like, if you're gonna make a character that's smart, make them smart. Don't just make it conveniently works out for them. Because it's not someone smart, that's someone being lucky. There's a difference. Homelander's gonna announce that he's God to America and the world and stuff. And he's gonna kill the non-believers, right? Do you think that'd be like this really cool sequence of Homelander killing people who don't believe that he's God? But that doesn't happen at all. Remember when he said if they released the video of him letting people die on the plane, he would burn the world down? That doesn't happen. There's like, oh no, it's just AI. It's not real. So, yeah, thanks for all that dramatic setup for nothing. I guess Homelander is fast enough to fly fake Elon Musk all the way to space and then back in like 3 fucking seconds, but couldn't leave one room during a fight. Cool. Like, how strong is Homelander supposed to be? Is he supposed to be like Superman leveled, or is he actually not that powerful? Because the show can't seem to decide which one it is. Like, he can't hear someone directly above him in an air vent panting heavily, but he can hear someone like tapping on a wall. He can fly someone to space and back in 3 seconds, but can't get out of a room. How powerful is this guy supposed to be? I don't know. Anyway, so again, the finale, they use tunnels to get into the White House. Obviously, there's a trap. They use the high-pitched noise that affects Soups, and then they have like turrets coming down shooting at him. Ashley gets her redemption moment and saves him. Cool, thanks. What a great character Ashley was. So they get into the White House pretty easily. Starlight goes and fights the Deep. Ends up blasting into the water, and then he gets an octopus like puts his tentacle like through him and out his mouth. So the Deep gets killed off finally. Thank fucking God. Huey and MM, they kill the All-Father guy who's like a super like preacher. They're putting like a titanium ball gag on his mouth. He's about to scream and his head explodes. So there you go. Butcher and Kimiko go and fight Homelander in the Oval Office. And Homelander knows for a fact that they've been experimenting on her to give her the Soldier Boy's powers. So he knows that she is a threat to him, but instead of trying to take her out, he just kind of stands there and fights Butcher instead, knowing the actual threat to him is right there, not really doing anything. And then, like, in the first episode of this very season, he cuts her in half because she just says something rude to him. Just like that. You'd think he would try to do something like that here to the suit that's a threat to him, but he doesn't. He doesn't try to laser her in half. He doesn't try to turn her head into a meatball so that she has to take a while to grow back. Like, he knows what her powers are, right? He knows her power is healing. So he knows if he just did something that would make it so it'd take her a long time to heal, he'd be fine. Just grab her, throw her into space, she'd come down and splat. Like, something. But no, he just kind of lasers her like once, but doesn't even try to cut her in half. Just kind of pushes her back against the wall. If she's stronger now, too, then like they have to make the point that she is stronger now, but they never mention that specifically. It's just that she has the chest blast thing now. Anyways, then Ryan gets involved with the fight, and Kimiko's gonna blast him. She's a vision of Frenchie. Then she blasts Homelander, Butcher, and Ryan. And then when they all come to, Homelander quickly realizes he doesn't have his powers anymore. He tries to laser Butcher. He can't laser him. He tries to fly away. He does jump a little bit. He no longer has his powers. He's just a mortal man now. He tries to punch Butcher, but Butcher grabs his fist and starts kicking the shit out of him, man. Which is actually really satisfying to finally see that. Homelander gets the shit kicked out of him. He's on his knees begging Butcher to spare his life. It's a kind of really funny line. He's like, I'll literally do it. It's like, you can run Vought. I'll suck your dick. And he's like, you want me to eat your shit? I'll eat your shit. Like, he's literally saying anything so that Butcher won't kill him. And it's all getting like live streamed on TV. So everyone's seeing how pathetic he really is without his powers. Of course, Butcher doesn't go for any of them. He just grabs the crowbar, jams his head, and actually, this is actually a really cool effect. And he like cracks open his head like an egg. And there's like his brain is going all over the table. That was really good. That was satisfying. So they all go back to their little hideout where the Gen V characters were hiding out. By the way, if you're expecting them to do anything in the season, don't. They were completely useless. Gen V was kind of pointless now. They save a group of people by driving them to Canada. That's literally all they do. So, you know, remember Gen V Season 2 when they're hyping up Maria Moreau to be able to fight Homelander? Doesn't happen at all. So basically, if you watch that show, you got your time wasted. Like me. Butcher's talking to Ryan. It's like, hey, we can start fresh. And Ryan's like, yeah, I know my dad had to go, but you're not exactly a good person either, so I don't want to be with you either. Butcher goes upstairs and realizes that Terror's dog has passed away. And that's the thing that sets him over the edge. So he gets the virus. Huey goes upstairs and realizes the virus is not in the vial anymore. He quickly knows what Butcher's up to. So he goes and I guess just knows that he's at Vought Tower. So he confronts him for one last time. And Butcher's like, I put in the sprinkler system. Those soups come to work. I'm going to trigger it. Like, they have a fight. And then Butcher goes to grab the remote. And he's about to pull the trigger. And then he looks down at Huey and he sees his brother. Because this whole show, they've been telling us that Huey reminds Butcher of his brother that passed away. And then Huey shoots him. So Butcher dies in Huey's arms. It's a good acted scene. I'll give him that. Like, Carl Urban has been always so good in this role, but yeah, really good scene. Cuts to Butcher's funeral. Like, ultimately, he did do the right thing. He was a hero by the end of it, technically, even though he did fuck him over multiple times and stuff, and he's a huge piece of shit, but he did still didn't do the right thing, I guess. So all the boys go their separate ways. Kimiko goes off to France. MM adopts Ryan and remarries his wife. Hugh and Starlight, I guess they start their own crime-fighting business now, and now like she's preggers. Hugh gets offered a job from the president, but he turns to his dad and he's like, no, I'm good. And then he sees Starlight fly away, go deal with the crisis, and that's where we end. And my reaction to the ending is like, alright, that's the end, I guess. Do I care about the spinoffs they're working on? Not really, if I'm being honest. You know, I wish this final season was a lot better, so I would be more excited to get more of this world. But honestly, I'm kind of done with it now. So, Vought Rising. What's the other one called? Boys Mexico or something? I don't really care, if I'm being honest. Any other spin-offs they're making, I don't really care. Especially seeing in this show how they made Gen V pointless by the end of it. Like, why do I care about these other spin-offs? They show me you're just going to make them pointless, you know? So that's the final season of The Boys. I wish it was a lot better. There's some nice character moments here and there, but other than that, it was ultimately a letdown, especially someone who really enjoyed the show at the beginning. I don't think it's the worst finale ever or anything like that. It was really underwhelming. Anyway, those are my thoughts. What do you think of the final season of The Boys and the finale? Be sure to let me know in the comments below, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe. That was Matt. Have a great day. See ya.